sausage.
Change those potatoes to French fried tomatoes and... Oh! One roast lamb!
I want ham.
Bake up, ambitious. There's my pernicious. Marquis Nell.
Here we come, mister. Right on the way. Nice hot roast duck with the gravy just oozing out. Mm-hmm.
I have to have lobster, but when I'm having my lobster, I have to have poo-poo-ba-doo-be-dow. I must have my mountain, but when I'm having my mountain, I have to have you.
Poo-poo-ba-doo-boo.
I'm so blue, waiting for you to come. Oh, I can't go on like this. Give me a kiss, huh? And make me poo-poo-ba-doo-ba-doo. I want to make whoopee, and if I want to make whoopee, I have to have poo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo, poo-poo-ba-doo, whoopee.
Da 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 da. Hey, where's my roast duck? Think I want to starve to death? You better give me something.
And a one fish, two fish. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. One fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. Say hey, it's DJ Ray. Red fish, blue fish. Say hey, it's DJ. Here, let's do a shout out. Actually, let's make sure the YouTube ski's working. YouTube's still showing the cartoon. What the hell? Bad YouTube. Hold on. I'm navigating YouTube to be a little clunky when it comes to checking on my. Yo, Ray, I see Ray in the house. Tuesday, working on 3D stuff. Checking on my. There we go. Ray, I see Ray in the house. All right, YouTube sounding okay. Sorry about that. I had an idea of maybe doing improvised close today. I don't know if that's going to turn into anything, but I think I'm going to do the classic barrel close. You know that thing when you've lost all your money and all you have and all you can afford is a barrel. I don't know how you can afford a barrel. Barrels are actually expensive, aren't they? But anyhow, and also I was thinking if you'd lost your clothes and all you had was a newspaper, um, I'm thinking of taking sheets and kind of stapling together, maybe making an outfit out of newspaper. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do a couple of today. Yo, Art, how are you doing? And also, then maybe we'll work on some textures. But I think first things first. Is it time for a cheap shot? Only if you want to redeem it, Ray. Did you redeem it? Is that what happened? I left just one cheap shot on there. I'm looking at YouTube. YouTube doesn't show me. There we go. That's my channel. You know what? It's crazy. It's always bothered me how Twitch. I like the 3 different tabs open to be able to effectively use Twitch. I have to have like my regular browser open so I can see the people I follow. I have this special stream manager, but it doesn't show me stuff the same way as Mod View does. But Mod View doesn't show me all the stuff that's on the stream manager, and neither of those show me the list of followers that are currently live. Dang, dude. You were there, you moved. I was where? I moved. Where? Anyhow, let's see if we can do this. I forget what I'm doing. I'm doing something over on Twitch. Oh, I'm coming over here. I'm going to come over. Nope, I'm going to come over here. There's the redeem a cheap shot. Okay, Ray. There's a shot glass. We still have the Jameson. It's going to be a cheap shot. It will help make paper close. It might. I got to do a couple of shout outs. Our good buddy CS isn't going to be with us today. He has to be up early tomorrow. There we go. It's a cheap shot because 1, I didn't fill it all the way. 2, I'm just going to sip it. Hey, Willie, how are you doing? All right, let me give a round of. There you go. There's the one for Willie. Here's one for DJ Ray. A little something for the Snow Bunny and Art. All right, I'm going to try to find measurements. Is there such thing as a standard oak barrel? Let's see. Standard oak barrel sizes. Standard oak barrels for aging wine or spirits typically range in size from 225 to 300 liters. Most common being 225. Other common size includes the hogshead, 250 to 300, and the butt is 500 liters. What I actually need is we need like dimensions. Wine barrel dimensions in centimeters. Let's see what that says. A standard Bordeaux wine barrel has dimensions of approximately 95 centimeters in length, 56 centimeters for the head diameter, and 68 to 72 for the bilge. We have a picture, so you know what? We're going to do this in Blender. So let's, you know what? Drag that over there. What did Rod Shelley? Hey, Rod, how are you doing today? Oh, this is nice, and I can actually see the details of the bands. There's a little bit of but do I have enough detail in here where I can 1, 2, 3, 4? I don't know how many staves on a standard barrel. Acquiring minds want to know. Wine barrel. Number of staves. 28 to 34. All right. So that basically, so if we do 32, probably in the ballpark. Actually, we're going to do 32. That's what's going to be our cylinder. Then we'll work with it from there. We got the cheap shot going. I'm not drinking it all at once, though. I'm savoring it. It has a bung hole. It does, doesn't it? You know what? We should add a bung hole. Anyhow, we're going to do this in Blender. Activating Blender. And then I'm just going to tie a couple of ropes on it. Or maybe, you know what? We're going to take a rope and attach it here, here, and here. That would be what goes over the shoulders. I'm not sure how detailed that's going to get on stream. Honestly, a wine barrel is a heavy ass piece to wear instead of actual clothes. I'm going to try to play with newspapers. Maybe I'll change my mind by the time I get done with this. Let's get Blender over here. Let's make a barrel. You know what we're going to do? We're going to import this picture in. We're going to put it on the side here. Let's do Shift A. And I don't know what are you called? You are barrel anatomy. That's what we're looking for. Okay, Shift A. I'm going to add a image in here, a reference. I'm going to go to my desktop. I'm looking for that right there. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put a rough box in here. That's going to be. We were just looking at these, right? Going to be 56 centimeters. Here, Shift A. Mesh. I'm going to do a curve for sizing to begin with. Actually, I can just use a Shift A. We'll just put a cylinder in here. And it starts with 32, right? And the depth That's the depth. We're going to make that point 45, 4.47.5 or 0.475. Radius gets to be 0.28. Wait, like that. That is not right. I just typed into the. That is right. That's not right. That has to be 0.96. There we go. That works. And then I just have to size you down. Kind of line up with that. That's roughly. It just kind of gives me an idea of what I'm doing. I'll have to complete your story on blog and put it on my Discord. It's a long story. It's a story of woe. I'll take that cheap shot. Here you go, Rod. Bon appetit. I kind of put that there. And this is just kind of gives me an idea of what I need to put where, how big things need to be. All right, let's pop into here. I'm going to start off with a cut there. And we're just going to kind of widen that out to the bilge. And we're just going to put a kind of curve like so. And then I'm just going to add a couple of extra loopies in here. Okay, then we're just going to steal one of these and size these to start being the hoops. We can probably slide these in a little bit better. I have an x-ray. I do. Do this. Nope, I can do this. And actually, I need that to be there and that to be there. That's probably going to be good. I'm not going to forget the bunghole. I know that's your favorite part, Ray, right? It is now. You know what? That looks good. That looks good. We can probably make a couple of tweaks there and there. And I'm going to add another one in about there. And then you know what? We're going to steal those and flip them over and use them on the other side. That way I know they all match. Go back into here. Do this, do that, that. You know what? You need to be adjusted, don't you? There we go. All right, so I need that, that, and that. Just going to Shift D those. Axel, or yeah, Axel. Hello, how are you doing? I'm making a barrel. Hopefully it'll fit a character. I'm basing this off real world dimensions, so I don't know if this will actually fit a person or not. We might end up altering a bit. It's the classic barrel instead of clothes. I'm going to add some ropes to it, and it should be good. So did I separate those? I did. You know what? We're going to do this. Separate that out. Let's set up some materials in here. And you know what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to delete part of this. Probably delete the top. Let's do that in retrospect. And then we're just going to mirror this. Probably a little. And I actually want this rotated around. If I just do an RY 90, that didn't work. Get it from the front. You're a little off, aren't you? I think I'm going to do, actually, are you? That's my problem. Got it. I'm just going to slide you down over here. Actually, we're going to make sure you sit right at 0. I think you are sitting right at 0. How weird. And then we'll just use a mirror modifier on these to flip them. Actually, I want to flip it so I'm working from the top. And we're going to orient out the cursor. And then RY 180. I like that. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to leave this in for just a minute. We're going to add a little bit of detail top here. Just cannot see what he is doing. Somewhere in here. There we go. A little bit of a lip on that. A little bit like this, and this comes down a little bit like that. Probably good. Actually, you know what I should do? Yeah, I should use a solidify on this. That's what I really should do. We're just going to delete that. Actually, all right, so we're deleting that face there. Pop out of here for a second. Let's add some modifiers. Maybe we'll make a barrel material. Barrel, maybe without the cap lock on this time. Sign that, and let's. Am I in object? I am in object mode. Why can't I not select my hoops? There's my hoops. Oops. Oops. You are barely staying awake. All right. Thanks for being here, Willie. We will catch you later, buddy. I'm sorry. What was that? Oh, Rod's. Has anybody heard of the home security company Viv? And I have not. Is that a criminal organization? All right, I think I'm good. I'm going to put a mirror modifier on here. And then I'm going to apply that. I think I'm going to put a sub D on here. Maybe 2 levels. Probably apply that because then I can put the bung hole in here. Sorry, I'm thinking. So let's do the mirror modifier and apply that. Generate mirror. Not that way, but this way. And I do the clipping and the control A should be good. And if we put our subdivision modifier on here, and I just want 2 layers on that, I think will be good. I need this extra, so yeah, that'll work. I'm going to put little divots in here, but we're going to do that after we do the, well, I need at least 1 level. It might be easier if we just do it like that. I just saw lightning flash. Do this for now. We'll probably add another, no, we'll do 2. I'm going to do 2. We're going to go all the way. I'm going to apply that. Let me just make sure. I can probably delete some of these extra rows, but I do want the columns. And we do want our bung hole right about in here somewhere. Right about there. So if I do loop tools, and we just circle that up. There we go. It could probably be touched up a little bit, but that's probably going to be fine. And we'll just delete faces, and that's going to make our little... Big should that hole be, by the way? Did I probably should have done the hole over here. Or I need to... You know what? I'm going to rotate you. And then we're going to look at it from the front. X-ray. G. I'm going to just line that up. And then that'll give me an idea of if I'm in the ballpark with that. Could be a little bit larger. But probably just going to do that a little bit. That's not too bad. I think that'll do the trick. And then we can just pull that out. There's our... It's a wine term. It's a wine barrel term. We're just not making that up. We are giggling like hell about it, though. But now I think we'll just throw a sub D on here. Not a sub D. A solidify. And I think I'm going to make that a little bit thicker. Actually, can we... dimensions of a wine barrel stave? I'm doing this over on screen, too. A wine barrel stave thickness. Typical range in thickness is 22 millimeters to 27 millimeters. We are currently at 10. So you know what? If I make that 20, that's probably going to be okay. Because we're going to angle this down a little bit. We'll eventually add a, what does that say? Chime? A head? We'll eventually add a head to it. All right, let's put some details in here. Which means I'm going to go like every... Brain has stopped. There we go. I'm going to hide that. This is going to be barrel. Those are going to be hoops. And actually, in a weird way, these hoops are lining up nicely because they're lining right up on the parts that I want to. You know what I got to do? We're going to apply. I'm going to apply the solidify. Add back in here. Switch over to this. I'm just going to put little notches, and we're just going to go like every. Dang it. So we're just basically going 4 and 4 and 4 and 4, 4, 4, 4. And I'm probably going to go and remove a bunch of these. You know, there's a trick to do that. I saw it the other day, and I've already forgotten what it was. 4 and 4, missed. So we're going to do a little bevel here, and we're going to do a little offset on the normals. You know what? I forgot to, I want to edit these first. I forgot to do that. Dang it. And I do have an awful lot of extra rows in here, so we may clean that up. I'm going to save this selection by coming over here and adding it to a vertex group like that. Assign those. And when I do this, I can come over here and select those again. And we're going to take a little bit of time to clean this stuff up. Let me see what the let me see if I can remember how this works. Blender select every other loop or something like that. Blender, how to select every other edge. There we go. It's a minute and a half. Checker, deselect, select edge loops. Did I not click on you? There's like an option, and it's kind of cool. And I'm watching a Lilo and Stitch ad. We are done with the Lilo and Stitch ad. We are moving on to
more or less a game asset. What I noticed with the curve is, yeah, you can break up the geometry very easily through adjusting here. However, if I go ahead and show you what happens after I convert it to a mesh, is we have a fine amount of edge loops.
oh, damn it.
So I was trying to go through and make a power chord, and one of here, that's fine. It's not really a concern. But is it extremely dense going all the way around the curve, or I guess in this case, the cylinder? It's just way too dense. And instead of going through and individually selecting every other one, which can be a very annoying and tedious task, what you can do is just if you go into, or I guess go to wireframe and allow toggle x-ray, select one whole set of loops, so we're going all the way around the curve, go to select, checker deselect, so that way we select every other one, then go down to select again, select loops, and edge loops. And that selects every other one all the way up the chain. So
I think we can do that. And we might be able to even do more than just every other one. Let's see how this works. I'm going to hide these edges before I do that. If I can actually see, there's part of my problem is it's so dense. I can't select anything. Do that. Go over to this. I think I don't think that's going to do quite what I needed to do because of the density on my mesh. I may just take the time to do them individually. So we'll just kind of maybe do something like this. And then we're just going to dissolve these out. Hopefully I don't screw this up. It's always so annoying when you realize you missed one. I could probably just rebuild it though. Oh, I got these. The oops are still in the way. We'll hide those. Hide those. No, hide you. Yes. And then I have to do this on the inside. Or you know what? We can just redo the subby. Except I've already spending too much time modeling a barrel. That was the not. I love the way you can undo selections in here. So freaking handy. If you've worked with a program where you can't do that, you really appreciate the ability to do that. So that seemed to work. We can just dissolve those out. It's a little bit better. I think I will just solidify that, and then we can just maybe, yeah, control L that. No, I got a connection in here somewhere, don't I? That shouldn't have bled through. Like, you know what? I probably have strange faces in here somewhere. This could have benefited from a little bit more. I might add a little more geometry. So do I have strange faces in here? Oh, it's because I had this hole here. That's right. This hole's what's causing my selection to just bleed through. So we'll just delete that. That's better. And I'm going to add some extra geometry in here somehow. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do that. And I guess we could just add extra points and then just try those, put tries on those or something. I could maybe put a loop on here. Maybe we can still reset that back to a circle. Although I do want to add a little bit more detail just here, but not on the rest of it. That's the tricky part. We've already got so much mesh up here, and you didn't get deleted, did you? I got to back up a little bit because apparently, yeah, those. Did I not just delete the? Did I just three? It's like I did. Like there's some edges in here that I'm not selecting. See that right there? Is that from something else I can't select? And did I get another one of those down here? Because if you get one on the top, you get one on the bottom. Okay, so it's back to how I want to add more geometry here without adding more geometry on this. I mean, I guess I can I do an insert on that? Nope. Actually, I can do this. Control L. Nope. I just have to select that. Dang it. No, not Control L. Is it damn it. Suddenly I just can't. There it is. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Duh. F. Do a little inset like that, maybe. Subdivide that and then add some extra and then pull this back out. So let's circle that up. Let's circle this up. And maybe I can just make those a little bit wider. And can I just put a sub D or something on here and then just manually clean up these 8 surfaces? Kind of what I'm thinking. Kind of like that. We can kind of circle you up like so. And then we can't leave these end guns in here. And I guess, am I going to get stress on here if we do that? What I'm thinking. Maybe we subdivide this, circle it, and then I can put poly here, here. I don't know. Let's try that. How does that work? Did I not subdivide you? That's what I wanted. And then I'm just going to knife in some extra. Yeah, I think we'll just do that. These are going to work out fine. These are going to end up having some tries. There's probably a clever way to avoid those, but I'm not going to break my brain trying to think what it is. Okay, and I don't need this anymore. Nope, I need to delete the faces, not the edges. There we go, and then I can just do the thing. It's going to break these, though. Do I still have my... I kind of have that. It gets broken and it gets a little wonky down here. But that's not too bad. You can tweak that. I'm probably just going to reselect that, you know. Yeah, we'll just do that. All right, let's just do a solidify. Somewhere in here, generate, solidify. We wanted it to be like 0.2. I think we'll apply that. And you know what? I'm just going to reselect these. But not that one. That. Those ones are just going to be wonky. And it might help if I put the hoops back in, because it gives me that, although now I don't see the hoops. Where are you, Mr. Hoops? I've lost the hoops. All right, I'm just going to have to be careful that I don't lose. Yeah, I'm already screwed up. I want to go every 4. You see, oh, that works. That works. What it's supposed to do, right? That was a miss. This is the sort of stuff I will invariably screw up. I have a hard time counting, seeing 4 consistently. Although I think haven't screwed up yet. Almost screwed up there. Probably good. You didn't select all the way through, did you? Oh, that's because I still have this thing going on. I have to redo. You know, can I just mark that and then I just... Yeah. Let's do that again. Gonna remove. Gonna add a group. I'm gonna assign that to the group. Subtract that group. Should be good. We're gonna tab out. We're gonna apply. Hey, look at all those loose. There's a way to fix that loose geometry shit, isn't there? Where did you come from? Remove edges without faces. Dang it. And it looks like it's, I can't tell what it's left over from. Rain stopped. Over here. Apply that. Should be good. Back into here. These I need to, that probably ended up looping all the way around. It did not. Why have I got, oh, it's because I have those weird loose points. Here, let me look this up. I have no idea how I did that. It was when I was deleting just edges, right? Blender, delete, select. Delete edges without faces. There we go. You can delete an edge without deleting a face, but you can't delete an edge. How do I delete an edge without deleting a face? Select clean up vertices, edges with no faces. That's actually I'm actually looking for. Loose geometry. There's what it is. Where are you? You're in a select. Select. Do I see something in here that says loose geometry? I do not. Is it under edge, maybe? First tool to help you clean this up is select loose geometry, which is available in the select menu in edit mode. I am in edit mode. This is my select menu. I am looking for select loose geometry. They have probably renamed it because that's the way Blender rolls. Select by trait loose geometry. There we go. And it actually didn't grab them. Let's try that again. Select. Because they're not loose, they're attached with the edges. You know what we can do? If I do that, I select all the connected faces and we hide all of that. Then we select all the stuff that wasn't selected as part of a face. Delete all of that. And then Alt-H. And I think that might have done the trick. All right, and now let's see if I can get my, am I in? I'm in edit mode. I'm going to select that. You know what? That's actually pretty good. I just have to clean these two up, don't I? And I need to select the ones that are on the back side of these. My center is a little wonky. There they are. You can see them now. Those and those. I think I'm good. Just to be safe, we're just going to assign all of those to that group there. And I'm just going to put a little bit of a bevel on this. I'm trying to think if I'm going to do this clever. I'm not going to do this clever. I'm just going to do, so we're just going to put a little bit of a bevel, just like that. And I'm just going to, and my clipping's too close. There we go. And then we're just going to use a Control-Shift-F, Control-F, extrude faces along normal. I can't tell which direction I'm heading. I think I went the right way. So we're just going to pull those in just a little bit like that. Going to give me this really thin detail. In case I made some janky geometry in there, we're going to search for end guns. I think that's mostly good. You know what I forgot to do is I forgot to slide. And you guys went the wrong way, didn't you? You know what? I think my normals are off. Just needs another another group here. No, they seem to be fine. So why did you guys? Why did some of you go one direction, some of you went the other direction? That's all we want to know. Do I have I? I have applied my modifier. Right? Select those. Control F. Maybe I was just going the wrong way and I didn't realize it. That's what I wanted it to do. All right, I'm going to slide these edges. We'll put a loop cut through here, and then we can slide these edges down a little ways. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Am I in edit mode? I'm not in edit mode. So I'm going to add a loop cut there. I'm going to select that. Then I'm just going to slide that down for that angle. Like that. And we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. And then the tricky part is when I beveled those, I should have. I'm going to back up a little ways to right there. And actually, can we go back past there? Then when I bevel, I actually want a little line in the middle there. And this is going to be a little tedious, but I can use that for selecting the seams on the between the staves so they come apart nicely. I think that's what I'm going to do. Then we can Control F that. I pull that in a little bit. I do that. You know what? That actually worked. And then I can just use that and mark seams. Yay. And then I'm going to mark a seam along here. And do I want to mark a seam on the top? You know what? I'm going to mark a seam on the top. We're going to have an inside and an outside seam there. And we did want to add a loop cut there. And we wanted to slide that down. Like so. And I'm just going to do the same thing down here. That. I'm going to have to add seams in there. And we just do the same thing. I'm going to slide. Did I select the right thing? I can't tell. There we go. Slide that in a little bit like that. Looking good. I need to just add a couple of seams on the bung hole. Oh, I have an idea. Hide that. And then with that hidden, I think then no, that still doesn't loop around. Damn it. Oh, well. Because of the way there's tries in these. Oh, I need to add some extra little loop cuts right in there, don't I? That's probably not good. Did we do that now? We need to. Are you not zooming in? Of course you're not. Why would you zoom in? Just because that's what I want you to do. So I really do need. Dang it! I think I screwed that one up. That one didn't. Yeah, that's thunder. Then I have to do this to the other side. Yeah, I should have built this first and then made the face and the inset. That would have looked terrible in Daz. If I left this like that. All right, so that's that one. That looks like it got a little crooked over here. That's probably close enough, though. Probably has to do with the way it solidified, I want to think. Missed. All right, I think I'm good. Let's do a little select for anything with more than 4 faces and see if anything comes up. So we're gonna do, what am I doing? I'm doing a select by type. Nope. Select by trait. Nope. Am I in? I'm in object mode. That's my problem. Select by trait. Faces by side. Greater than. And let me just bring up statistics. And somewhere is a face with greater than. So that didn't get built quite right. I apparently did a bad loop cut on that one. So you know what? Can we just delete you? You know, let's try this. AM merge by distance. Then we'll do this. And we'll select by. Why does that still say 1? Okay, I know why it still says 1. OE. Select by trade. Faces by side. Greater than 4. I don't think it got anything. We do it again. Select by trait. Faces by sides greater than 4. I don't see anything over here. I think that's going to be fine. And we can just mark seams on those. Alt H, and we should be good. Shade smooth. Shade auto smooth. There we go. I think I'm happy with that. All right, let's UV map this. UV's editing. A U unwrap conformal. Looks about right. That could stand to have a hole, a slit in it, in the bung hole there. We'll add that. I just need a little loop cut, maybe right there. What if I say minimize stretching? Now that's what it's supposed to look like. We got 32 insides and 32 outside parts. So I reckon we'll put a lid on these. Let's finish up the bands. Those should be relatively easy. I'm actually gonna model in a little bit of an overlap. I think we'll put some rivets in it. So we'll hide that and we'll bring the hoops back. Where did my hoops go? I renamed the camera hoops. That's my problem. There's my hoops. I think for these, I'm just gonna add a little rivet there and there and there and there and there and there, and then we're just going to, and I see that, and we're just gonna mirror these. Although I do see that those get, maybe we could just rotate it around. I might do that. I think I'm gonna do a little, we'll add the, I'm gonna do A. Let's do a little along normals, just to give it a little bit of thickness. Probably fine. Let's crease these edges. And actually, let's work over here. And what I want to do is kind of do an overlappy thing. I think I'm going to duplicate this, 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 this. We'll scale them centered on the cursor, but not on the Z. I'm going to pull those out just a little bit like that. I'm going to put a little bit of a, what I got going on here. This comes over, you know what, we're going to put a little bit of a gap in here. I think and I can just bridge that and that. Bridge edge loops, something like that. I'm looking for something in here that says bridge edge loop. Bridge edge loops, there we go. Yeah, I think that'll do the ticket. That does the twick. Let's select you, and we'll sharpen you guys up. Sharpen there. Put a sharp in there. This one we're just going to fill that, and then I'm just going to kind of do the same thing. And you know what? We're just going to mark a seam there and there. Through. I can't select this. I'm going to put that back to median. pull that out just a little bit so we can actually select that edge right there, that edge right there, and mark that as a seam. That is a seam. I think that's a seam. I'm going to just test this real quick, see if I did this properly. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like. Okay, then I'm just going to do this to the other two. And then we're just going to add some levels of subdivision and give this a little bit of curve. And I'm just going to make a little rivet thing that we're just going to put on these. These are probably too thick. I've definitely gone, but it makes them really. I'm going to live with it. All right. Put a loop cut there. There. That. That. Those off. That. That. Bridge those edge loops. Select that. That. Those edge loops. That edge. That edge. This edge. Those. Maybe that. That. Mark some seams over here. You're not filled in. All right. And I gotta get this one. I didn't want to put seam there and there. Want to fill that in. Maybe mark a seam there. I don't know, something like that. I think I've got some that are a little off. That's got an issue. I got two of them right. I've got one of them that isn't quite right. So we'll see. Where are you? Okay, so this one needs a little loving. So we'll just redo that. So let's clear the seams and we'll just reselect those. The one on the inside. Not quite right. One on this inside. You're probably okay. I don't know. Yeah, it looks fine. That'll be fine. All right, now if we apply our subdivision, I need just 2 levels on that, which makes way too much particle density. But do I want to just do one? I think I'm going to do. No, it's going to be too dense. But I'm going to live with it. What am I doing? Subdivide surfaces. Do I have some goofy ass shit? I do have some goofy ass shit going on. It's from these. That looks fine. Same thing on this one, I suppose. Probably that, and that. Although it looks like, sometimes these just don't go to 100, do they? Sometimes I roll it all the way over and then it just kind of slips back just a hair at the last moment. I do that and then it accidentally slides. I think that looks good. I think it looks good. This looks like it. That looks fine. I guess that's okay. Yeah, let's auto smooth that. So I'm going to tweak these ends just a little bit. I think we're just going to roll these corners back in. So let's apply. Add out. What are you? Oh, you're the smooth modifier. Oh, you know what? I don't need those. We can clean this stuff up fairly easily. We'll just dissolve those edges out. Curve that in, just bring that in just a little. And then we're just going to do this on the other two. Oh, you had an issue, didn't you? I'm going to fix that. It's a little wonky, but it'll be fine. I'm not happy with how that's going. It looks okay. It'll be fine. You won't notice the difference. You will now, because you know what to look for. That almost looks like I had deleted part of it out already. There should have been 3 of those. Let's take a look. Do I have something? Oh, there's my problem. That one got a little wonky on the back. What is going on here? I'm trying to just move you. What am I? Come over here. Tap into here. And then I'm going to fix it. So that got off just a little bit. Slide that back up. Likewise, this edge ended up getting rounded because the crease angle was just a little bit off on those. And then we're just going to clean these out. And then I'm just going to slide these corners back. I guess I could put round bevels on them, but that's going to make for messier geometry right in here. There we go. Probably good enough. I'm just going to put some fake nubbins in here. Shift A, mesh, cylinder. Do I want to say, I'm going to say 16 RX 90 scale. going to end up in here somewhere. Actually, let's leave you like that. Bring you around like that. Let's delete that face. Put a little bit of a bevel on here. Yeah, put a little bevel on that. Delete that face. Select these. And I'll just do a grid fill on that. Probably good enough. I'm just going to be a little neurotic and reorient it like that. Probably good. Let's just give you a material. Hoop rivet. And you're probably good. Put one there. One there. I'm gonna add a couple here. Add a couple right there. Then it's a matter of just lining that up. I'm just gonna, and then we just orient a little bit. Do I have the universal? We're gonna do local, and which one is the universal tool again? I don't use it that much, so I tend to forget. Spacebar T. And the origin, set origin to geometry. That's better. Then I can just do this. And I'm just going to push that in just a little bit like that. And I'm going to, I do these all at once, origins to geometries for multiple things at once. How cool would that be? Set origin to geometry. Excellent. And are they all, everything's working on local. Excellent. So I can just kind of tweak that. Maybe pull it out a little. Over to the next one. You're looking fine. Yeah, it's close. Probably good. That's looking fine. That's the last one that needs to be in. Probably good. All right, let's UV map all of these together. Actually, let's combine all of this stuff. I don't need you. You tab out, select all of these. Control J should be good. I'm going to mirror these. No, I'm just going to duplicate this, flip it, and send it down. Shift D, RY, 180. That didn't do what I expected it to do because I am oriented on the local axis. That should do what I wanted to do. Looks good. You know what? I'm going to I need to recenter the geometry. And you know what? We're going to orbit off the 3D cursor there. And then I'm going to take this and make that into the negative there. And that should line up with the barrel. Looks fine. I probably should put some boards on top, close them off, and maybe put a plug in. Since I'm going to all this trouble to make the barrel. I'm going so slow, I'm probably not going to get ropes on here. Let's see how this looks with a person in the scene. Let's do that. Dum, dum, dum. Did my person come in the scene? Nope. Did I accidentally export instead of import? I totally just exported over my Genesis 8. Damn it. That's what I did, wasn't it? It was. That was an export. Cancel that. All right, I got to resave my Genesis 8 now. I overwrote her. Damn it. That's okay. We have the technology. We have the tools. I am not looking at my stream manager there. There's my stream manager. Okay. We're waiting for Daz to launch. Maybe we'll add the ropes. Rope's going to be a little more complicated. I'm going to make my own rope. There's Daz. It's thinking about coming in here. You know what? I should save you. File. Save as. You know what? I'm just going to stick you in landscape for right now, for lack of a better place. Still don't see Daz. There it is. All right, let's import in. There we go. I'll load this. I'm going to save this back out to wherever the hell that is. Projects G8F. That's where that's going to go. All right, that's done. Okay, so let's do. I'm going to take off the mesh resolution back to base. I don't think I have mesh smoothing on here, so this should be good. Export that file. This is going into projects. I have a G8F folder right about here. I'm going to overwrite that, which I just broke. Should be good. Now when we come over here, that looks fine. You know what? That barrel is going to kind of fit, I think. Do I want to combine you guys together at this point? You know what? We're going to do that. Let's go see how this UV edits. I haven't combined the whole thing though. That. All good. Control J, tab in, select all, unwrap, minimum stretch. I think that did it. There's my hoops. There's those little button things. There's the hole. We have enough extra room. We still have to add tops to this. If I take you, I think this is going to line up nicely. We might scale that down a little bit. You know, the dimensions are about right. I may not make a clothing item out of this. Or I may tweak it a little bit. See how that works. It works in the cartoons because they're not using real barrels. I'm just going to put you back down there where you belong. We're going to hide you for the time being. I'm just going to add a thing here. I might do that later because I'm actually going to put boards in it. And it's just going to be very tedious. Let's put a plug in here, though. Maybe kind of like that. Probably fine. I am going to taper this a little. I'm just going to break that edge a little like that. Same thing here. Get these faces off. Grid fill that. I'm over here where I can base grid fill. Yep. Good. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Good. Can I mark a seam there? You know what? I'm going to mark the seam right there. The other one right there. And then we'll just mark a seam right there. Should be fine. I'm going to call you plug. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to make a square, add the little lines, and then just manually try to round these things out. Maybe we're just going to do maybe with a Boolean. Evil Boolean. Maybe I can fix that. What do I got? I actually have 24 minutes. Let me put the caps on. I'm just going to start with a cube. And I want to say 0.02 because that's the thickness. And we'll look at this from the top. Then we'll tab into object mode. And I'm going to scale, but not on the Z. Make sure that that comes kind of covers up sort of like that. But I want it to come into about there. Scale, but not Z. That didn't work. Try that again. Scale, but not Z. You know what? I'm going to go a little wide. I'm going to use bad Booleans. Evil Booleans. There. And I'm just going to slice this up for boards. I'm going to click this until it looks right. Maybe like that. And we're just going to add our little bevel those. The little bevel on the inside. Then we're just going to do our offset as internal. Bring those all in just a hair like that. I'm going to just tab that in a little. Control minus gives me those. I can mark seams on that. Mark seam. That's locked all the way to there. You know, that's not too bad. And we're just going to mark seams back here and here. Maybe I'll just get these little corners here. Actually, I'm probably not going to need to get those, am I? Probably not, because I'm going to have that weird bevel stuff going on. Let's get this a material. Lid. And then I'm just going to try an evil bevel, and we'll see how that goes. Let's make a copy of this before I break it. Tab out, Shift D, hide the other one, Shift A. We're going to add a cylinder in here, make you 64. I'm going to just size that down so it just gets inside of our, just like about like that. Right about in there maybe. All right, let's see how this works if we bevel it, how bad this turns out. I'm going to try to slacker way of fixing all of these so that we don't have end guns. All right, let's put a Boolean on here. Where are, yeah, there you are. You're in a generate, in a Boolean. I'm going to Boolean intersect. I'm going to do that. I have the wrong thing. Let's try that again. So add a Boolean. Yeah. I don't want to do difference. I think I want to do intersect. I intersect with that. Then what do we hide that? Yeah, I think that might do it. Let's just apply that. Control A, tab in. Yeah, now I've got some really, although you know what, that might not look too bad in Daz. But I'm not going to leave it that way. I'm going to add some loop cuts in here, then we're going to redo this. I'm going to put some loop cuts this way. Now let's try. I don't know, where did my cylinder go? Oh, there you are. That's right, I made a copy. And let's apply that. What we're going to do is select all, and we'll just triangulate everything. Triangulate faces. Then we'll just price the quads. How does that look? So the real thing is, how does that look when we put it in Daz? If I duplicate that, actually, before I duplicate that, let's just make sure we got some seams on here. I probably should have done that beforehand. This thing's gonna. I wonder how this will. Do I still have seams in here along the edges? Maybe. Let's just see. You know what? That's not too bad. UV seams from islands. You have to minimize stretching. I did have all those seams running through there, though. It's a little weird. I got Daz in the way of chat. If anybody said anything, I'm sorry. We got all these little edges that got strange seams on them. You don't just swoop all the way through, do you? You kind of do. Those didn't get. How is that looking? I've got these weird little loops in here, don't I? I can probably separate those out if I do something like this. Oh, and they're only in a couple of spots. Are we still doing face? Yep, we are. So maybe we paste those. Grab these. That did not. I need to X-ray those. When I do this, so I'm going to X-ray maybe all of those kind of top parts, all these kind of bottom parts. Probably fine. Control I H. Alt H. No. Alt H brings all of that back. Alt. God damn it. Alt H. Alt H. Come on. Control. Control. There we go. We're just going to clear the UVs on the clear seams. We'll just clear the seams on that, and then I'll just redo. That's better. Then do that. And I think I'm going to just mark a seam through here arbitrarily, maybe like right in there. Maybe we'll just mark side. It's a mark sharp. That is a mark seam. You should have split a little bit better. I'm getting there. I'm going to call this, just to help me keep track of this stuff, we're going to call this top edge. So there'll be a top and a top edge. Or there's a, what was the name of it? The head. The head edge. Assign that to this and I can grab it later. So why are you all separated? Because I have an accidental seam right there. You know what? I don't need that. I have a seam that's going to work for that. Clear that seam. And apparently my seam over here wasn't doing exactly what I thought it does. I inadvertently clicked all the way through. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Probably good. I think we can now make a copy of this, combine it with the other one, and then map everything together. And that's the barrel, but we don't have the rope on it yet. I might add the rope later. Back over to here. And Alt H, and select everything, and G, Z, put you down in like that. And we can just shift, oops. Save, tab out, shift D, put that down here. You're not supposed to be up that high. You aren't that high because I moved you. Probably good. Grab the whole thing. Go J. Apply the auto. There we go. Apply the auto shade. Pop back over to here. Select everything and unwrap with minimized stretching. Probably good. This is going to be a nightmare to stencil though. Unless you're using Substance Painter. In which case it'll just be a snap. I think this is good. What do I got? I've got 10 minutes. I don't know. Maybe I can start a rope. I'm going to try to remember how to do this. I'm just going to do a simple tube now, but I'm going to try to get it turned into a twisty rope shape later on. But for our purposes, and then we're just going to, I'm going to actually separate out the, save it so that the lids can be separated out. I think that's what we're going to do. So what I'm going to do is we're going to, basically it's going to be tied here, come up over the shoulder and into the back. And the way it's probably going to end up, probably going to slide itself onto the shoulders like that. So I'm going to start with a vertex. So I'm going to just do this as a mesh. Do I have a single vertex option in here? There it is, single vert. Yay, add a single vert. My name is Vert. I am a vert. G, vert. I'm going to come up right about there. And it's going to start life over on the edge of the barrel here. I'm just going to, did I not extrude you? Single vert. Why is single vert not doing anything? You're not really there. I have a single vert. I have selected single vert. I have hit the E key. I'm not getting anything off of that. You know what? I'm just going to do this as a as a plane. Engelbert's not playing nice. Or am I really? Gonna get rid of you. There we go. We're gonna start with a plane. We're gonna remove the face of that. So I'm only going to only faces, tab in. So we still have all of this stuff. Can I just pull this edge off? We just kill you. I'm not in edit mode. Two. I don't see. I got the wrong tool. It's not. My extrude just being funky. Is that what it is? I'm gonna get this eventually. Get the feeling I just did. I haven't even touched the edge yet. That's why. There it is. Probably good enough. What if we? Is it Control Shift B for edge? Control B. Control Alt B. I don't know. Let's just do. Where's the bevel thing for it for vertexes? Bevel vertices. Shift Control B. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, Control Shift B. I can kind of do that. Maybe a little bit more like that. Okay, now I think I'm going to convert this to a curve and put a shape on it, and we're probably going to call it a day. We do a couple little tweaks here. Let's add a mirror modifier on here. Get that over there. I'm still in object mode, so let's do this object. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit of a curve on this and this right here. Control Shift E. Pull those out just a little bit like that. Now we're going to convert it to a curve. I'm eventually going to put something that will tie it to here. And now that we're in a curve, let's do some tweaking here. Let's set our spline type to Bezier. Let's set our handles to automatic. Smooths it all out. Probably going to be a good starting point. Let's come over here to our curve. Go over here to geometry. Let's say round, and we'll say 0.01, 0.005. I think I'm just going to use that as the starting point. And eventually I'm going to turn this into more of a rope, and we're going to maybe tie it around the something on here. I'll probably just put some nails in there. Anyhow, this is where we're going to leave off for the day with our barrel. What is today? So I did not get the texturing. I now have 4 outfits I'm working on. And I'm gonna subjugate you to the recap of where I am with clothing items. I have one thing waiting to be released at Daz, the cowgirl outfit. We have one that has gone through testing, the 40s outfit. So that actually is waiting for marketing to figure out when they want to put it up. I have a third outfit I submitted just the last couple of days. The rockabilly swing has been submitted. So, and then we are currently working on, let me hit save here. We are currently working on the nocturne gown. So nocturne gown is looking a bit like this. So that's nocturne down, and it has panties. I just need to start making promos for this outfit and clean things up. That needs a texture on it. You know, when you load something in, it really should come in with a texture. So that's coming along. After that, we have the Twilight Teddy, which I think we started doing textures for. I will probably work on textures on that on Thursday, and maybe also the sultry bodysuit. I just went the wrong way. No, I went the right way. There it is. This is Twilight Teddy. We started doing the materials for that, I think. Yeah, we got some materials in here. So we have a few silks done, and then we're going to work on some others. It's coming along. We have after that the sultry bodysuit, which I think my straps are a little too thin. That of course comes with a panty. I think I'm gonna tweak this so the straps are just maybe a little, because when I use D-force on this, they get even thinner. So this, and then the over the weekend I started the strappy thing. I have a name for it. What are you? The Coquin suit, which is looking kind of like that. So that's coming along. Found an old email from John Hoagland, a vanishing point from a few years back while you were looking at it for an asset. Is V for Isumi. Oh, okay. I made a few things for John back in the day. Anyhow, that's how my outfits are coming along. Let's find somebody to raid. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. It seems like there's 3 of you still hanging out, so I really do appreciate it. Art, it's always a pleasure to see you. Rod, I love you, man. I forget, did you say what was going on with your surveillance and I just missed it? Your surveillance company? They probably just want to overcharge you or something for no service. And also check out our good friend Art. My man Charles wasn't here today, but you can check him out here. Hey, I got a disc rod. Feel free to join. Buy my stuff at Daz. Yada yada yada. Let's see who's on and go over and say hi. I think think Jacques might be on. Jacques the magician. Andrea's on. Maybe we'll just say hi to Andrea. Daria Stana is on. She's the crafty friend, but she's probably getting ready to raid. Let me see who else is on. Scrolling. Jack is in England. Oh no. Is he on in England? Did I even bring Jack up? I didn't. I saw Andrea. You know what? Maybe I'll just go over and say hi to Andrea. I think that's what we'll do. Oh, he said happy birthday. Oh, okay. So let's do this. Let's go over and say hi to Andrea. N-O Art. So let's do this. Hey, raid calls. If you're not a subscriber, use that. If you are a subscriber, use this. If you're on YouTube, thank you for being here. I know you can't join the raid, but remember, like and subscribe. And I do appreciate it. I will be back Thursday, same time, 7 p.m. More stuff like that. I'm probably texturing some of these outfits that we just showed right here at the end. So / raid Andrea N-O Art. I don't know. Did that work? Let's see how that goes. Yeah, that looks like it worked. I'm going to copy my raid call. We will be back Thursday working on more stuff for Daz Studio. And until then, I hope you have a good rest of a Tuesday or Wednesday. For those of you on the happy side of the planet, I'm still working on my shot. Anyhow, hasta la vista, baby.